Some people just can't seem to put Uhuru Kenyatta's name out of their mouths. And I'll give you a prime example of this. Just listening to Gladys Wanga.
Tell President Uhuru Kenyatta that when you retire, you become the single most unifying factor for the nation. And today, President Uhuru Kenyatta is the only living retired president. Because we had President Jomo Kenyatta, he's late. We had President Mwai Kibaki, he's late. We had President Moi, he's late. So the only former president that we have who is living is President Uhuru Kenyatta. And therefore, he must be the father of the nation. He cannot be dragged into partisan politics because the nation is a fragile democracy.
Now, the beauty of all this is that Uhuru Kenyatta has finally issued a response, and in this video, I want us to break down that response. And so with no further ado, let's get after it. Now, to briefly put things into context, Uhuru Kenyatta did not personally attend any function. Instead, he called his small brother Muhoho Kenyatta, who was in Narok, and Muhoho put Uhuru Kenyatta on loudspeaker so that he could address Kenyans. So that was just to put things into context kidogo. Now, first up, Uhuru Kenyatta told Broadbased that he won't be forced to retire and that he'll continue fighting for Jubilee Party. Here's a tip.
Sasa mimi nikiongea maneno mbili tatu naambiwa wewe umeritaya kwenda nyumbani. Kwa nini hawakuambia Moi aritaya aende nyumbani? Mimi kwa ukweli siko kwa active politics, lakini nina haki ya kutetea chama changu. Nina haki ya kusimama na chama changu. Nina haki ya kutetea chama changu. Mimi hakuna kiti yeyote mimi natafuta, lakini mimi ni mwanachama wa Jubilee kwa hali, kwa mali, kwa damu. Ukienda Amerika, wakina Obama bado wanatetea vyama vyao. Kweli ama sio kweli? Kwa nini mimi kila saa waniambie siwezi ongea, siwezi hata enda harusi, siwezi hata enda mazishi ya rafiki, siwezi hata kutembelea mtu, ati ninyamaze kama bubu na kuna macho naona na nina masikio nasikia? Kila mtu ako na haja na nafasi yake ya kidemokrasia katika katiba yetu kulinda haki yake.
So yeah, Uhuru Kenyatta is telling Wanga and other politicians who keep demanding that he should keep quiet and retire that he won't retire. And to be honest, I agree with him. You have retired from the presidency. You have not retired from politics. You have not retired from being a Kenyan. And as a Kenyan, you have a right to vote. You have a right to choose your leaders, critique your leaders, question your leaders, and even recommend leaders to other people through canvassing and whatnot. It's a free democracy. So telling Uhuru Kenyatta to keep quiet, what for? Telling Uhuru Kenyatta not to be a party leader, not to engage in politics, what's the purpose of that? He's still a young man. He has many years ahead of him. In fact, wakifanya tu makosa wabadilishe katiba kuongeza term ya Kasongo, Uhuru will be eligible to vie, and he ought to vie if it comes to that. So someone who can vie, someone who is young enough to have some sway in the politics of the day should be allowed to speak about politics. And in any case, some of the people who are questioning Uhuru Kenyatta and telling him to retire, I don't think they're of sound mind kama huyu. Number 2, Uhuru Kenyatta lectured ODM brokers for being tumbocrats. Here's the tip.
Na ni sikitiko kubwa tukiona wengine badala ya kwenda kuuza sera zao na chama zao, kazi yao ni kuja kuingilia mipangilio ya vyama vingine. Kama wanaamini vyama vyao, waende kwa vyama vyao wafanye kazi kwa vyama. Sisi tuuze sera zetu kama Jubilee bila kusumbuliwa kila wakati na watu ambao hawana msimamo wanatembea kwa sababu ya tumbo zao.
In case you're wondering ni kina nani hao wanatembea kwa sababu ya tumbo zao, this is who Uhuru Kenyatta was referring to.
In conclusion also, in the spirit of strengthening political parties, I want to bring to the attention of the PG that ODM is owed 12 billion shillings as their money. 12 billion. If we get that one, then we shall be very happy.
Because there's no way ODM can tell us wao kuitisha 12 billion, wao kuitisha power, kuitisha kiti ya Kindiki, kuitisha SGR, kuhamisha resources from other parts of the country and concentrating it in one region is not tumbocracy. That is exactly what ODM is. Ni chama ambayo huwa inatisha kuendea uongozi, hawafiki pale, wanataka waitwe kwa mkutano wafanye nusu mkate and then they ride it out for 5 years. If you ask me, between UDA and ODM is a greater cancer. It's an opportunistic disease that is very hard to kill. Better even UDA, it will die a natural death. After 2027, Kasongo akianguka, UDA itaishia pale. But ODM survives on the outside. Even in 2032 watakuwa kwa debe. Hawatashinda, watakuja kufanya maandamano wapewe kitu nusu. So Uhuru Kenyatta is right to call them tumbocrats. Ni watu wanatembea kwa sababu ya tumbo zao. Shame on them, and it is one of the parties that we need to send home. I'm just hoping the Linda Mwananchi group will be serious about their RPP party so that it can sanitize Kisumu, Migori, Siaya, Kibera, Westlands, all these areas waweze kupata chama ambayo it is there to deliver their interests and not their tumbocratic needs personally. But be that as it may, that's just my opinion, guys. Let's see what Kenyans are next to say about Uhuru Kenyatta refusing to retire from politics. And I quote, Okoth J said, "The man, like his constituents, is just bitter that resources are being channeled to other regions, hence the bitterness, envy and rage." Uyu Okoth J is one of the misguided Kenyans. You are being told hakuna resources inaletwa huko Luo Nyanza. They are lying about SGR na ijeko kwa budget, but he has bought the whole story hook, line and sinker. Impossible to help this guy. Guawaka G6 said, "Retiring, sir, it is within your right to associate or support anyone you want or criticize anything. Freedom of speech cannot only be for few and shelf declarations. Andu ni mahinjo ni mao mitegutina something." Miki said, "You are entitled to speak even when retired. You are still a Kenyan citizen." Wanugu said, "Uhuru, you couldn't stop Ruto being president when you were in power with all instruments of power. Why lie to Kenyans you will stop Ruto being president in 2027? Uhuru, stop politics and stay home. You brought all these problems to Kenyans by allowing Ruto to be president." But what say you guys? Do drop me your comments in the comment section below and I'll do best to read them and to give you a response. So with that, here today's ads of the day. If you're still managing rentals using notebooks and caretakers, see how Joel Karangu Miner switched to a system that runs his 76 units automatically. Every month, caretakers traveled to his office with handwritten records. Balancing the math took hours. Payments never merged and tenants never got receipts. Then Joel switched to Bomahat, Kenya's award-winning property management software. Now payments update automatically, receipts go out via SMS, and every report is just one click away. He now runs all 76 units from his phone. No chaos, no confusion. Join hundreds of landlords doing the same. For more information, please call 0717-512-483 or visit www.bomahat.com. If you're in need of electrical wiring, solar installation, or electrical fittings such as strip lights, snake lights, downlighters, or chandeliers, contact Engineer Wycliffe at 0707-476-602 and he'll get your house dapped up. If you're here for the first time, please go on and hit the subscribe button. And if you're watching from a different platform, just head on over to YouTube, search for David Wafula. Hit the subscribe button. You're going to be getting a ton of content of this nature. If politics is something you're passionate about, this is definitely the one channel that you really, really need to subscribe to. All right, guys, adios. Thank you for choosing David Wafula as your primary news platform. We put countless hours in research, recording, and editing. By showing up each and every day to watch our videos, you encourage us to generate more videos for the viewers. We are on a mission to inform, educate, and build a better tomorrow. To our thousands of followers in a world full of presidents, kings, and queens, you are the real gem. Adios.